Hi, beautiful people. How's it going? Hope all is well with you. I'm still enjoying our nice 90, almost 100-degree heat right now, the end of July. But anyway, okay, intros. 20 plus years holistic wellness as an esthetician and practitioner, mental readiness coaching, now about 15 years, and have a special first responder series. And hopefully people will go check that out. It's on, uh, I think it's under, it might say RYL Corrections, First Responders, and More. Sorry, I should know that, but I haven't actually glanced in it in a while because I haven't interviewed anybody in a while. And it is called the First to Respond series. It's really terrible. Sorry, people. Things have been on pause, so I have not been adding to that list or doing very much there. But hopefully, just to update you, going to be doing hopefully, some stuff with the American Legion, I hope. So let's go ahead again, diving in. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest. I hope to, at least in this first part of the episode, I'm going to try to, because I get really sidetracked, I understand, give you example first, and you can see if you want to listen to this episode further, uh, kind of like with all my episodes. But this subject matter is is definitely sensitive. It's heavy. Those of you who don't know, I have a very difficult time simplifying not only my shows, but a lot of things, people in life, like whether it's my map papers or just my closet or whatever it is. It's very challenging no matter how much I try to talk and pray about finding ways to simplify, and really the only way is to get rid of shit, right? So again, this episode never fails. I was going to record it in two parts. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm kind of just, this is my second time recording it. So I'm going to try to do it justice only one time, because again, it does like take my energy, totally zaps me out. And so the sensitive subject, heavy subject, but again, these types of topics, this isn't about like, let's be depressed, let's this and that and whatever, and then again talk about like the same kinds of bullshit of how, we're angry about things and then we really don't do anything. Like, we all do this, even going to listen to motivational speakers. And so, or, you do the things for a while and then you drop off. So, I really want to give some actionable steps here. Personal storytelling, I think, really does help, of course. But then that next step of just that baby step, sometimes people, again, have to hit a rock bottom to actually push them forward. And this is one of those stories on many levels. So I'm going to say this is for, because I'll tell you in a minute what inspired this, but we're going to say this is directed definitely to those of us in low moments. This is going to piggyback on the little episode I did talking about veterans and wanting to get involved more so in mental health. And in my self defense days, I got more interested in first responders and always with veterans, but the increasing suicide rates, right? So, this topic, which I haven't always decided, I guess I haven't always loved the word suicide, meaning not that I've tried to decide on how I want to use it. And this one, not because of out of fear, like, oh, should I say that? And that's too taboo and sensitive. I know that it's sensitive, so it's easier and gentler to say those who have taken their lives. So I just want to say this would be directed towards anybody who has had low moments and maybe even just contemplated with the passing thought of, life would be better without me, this and that and whatever, and all those sorts of thoughts. And I'm not really going to talk about it today, but kind of I would like to at least address that people make a lot of judgments on people that have these thoughts when you don't have to be mentally ill. It could just even be a passing thought, right? Nothing so serious, nothing that you would diagnose as anything. And this subject hits home for me too, not just because, I have this interest and, oh, I feel bad that they would go to that level and feel that bad in their life. It hits home because if you haven't listened to me before, I bring up, I feel like quite often as part of my story, that at 12, I myself too felt like that. And teenagers go through their own bullshit, right? It used to be that adults would be like, what kind of problems do they have? It's like, okay, plenty, right? Plenty of problems. So, without getting so deep, while I think that the details do matter in everybody's situation, that I feel like I was kind of the average kid who grew up in a good home, if you want to call it like normal. My dad and his remarried Filipino wife, the second one. Overall, he was a good dad, but it didn't start off like that. And so I don't know around what age it was, but basically, he was strict. He was like more than I would like him to be, as a kid. Like everything was basically no, I felt like, with his long ass descriptions of questions after I'm asking him, to go somewhere. And so basically that story goes as feeling rejected by both parents because my dad was calling me stupid all the time. My stepmom was pretty much like, you need to stop saying that because your daughter's thinking about killing herself. And so I don't think seriously I would have done it really of course. I think I would have definitely ran away for a few days, came to my senses and came home. And so that's where, and it stopped, and our relationship changed. But the household, as far as like, we didn't hug, we weren't affectionate really people too much, even with my stepmom, very loving. He didn't tell us, my brother and I, that he loved us. And I grew up also with a stepbrother and stepsister. So anyway, that part that I've never talked about. So, my interest in obscure books and my support systems were writing and my punk rock and hardcore music. This is where we get into, maybe you're wondering, what was going on during that time of, you basically, I was in survival mode, just trying to make myself feel better and not compare myself to my pretty friends that are on that playlist, personal empowerment journey. And so I'm trying to keep track of all of this, people, because I didn't write a whole lot down. Okay, so my interest, I wasn't reading, so I was reading, yes, my Buddhism books, my self help stuff, Richard Bach, The Illusions of a Reluctant Messiah. Pretty sure I got the title right. That kind of stuff. But I also read Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar, and I think I got interested in her poetry because she wrote poetry and a novel, The Bell Jar. I don't even really remember it, but I think she was clinically diagnosed with depression, and she went through electroshock therapy, which back then that was one of the things they do, kind of shock the senses back into you. But there was a lot of association back in the day, right, for with people that even thought about killing themselves, or taking their lives, or even acting in that way. Again, it was like a taboo thing, like people didn't really know how to deal with it. So I think I just related. So she ended up taking her life, but she was diagnosed, I believe. So I don't remember exactly, but I think one of the reasons I became so intrigued, because number one, it was a female, and also she was, I mean, writing was also, a way that she expressed. So I'd actually have to look back at her bio. I'm very curious. White blonde lady, how I got hooked on her. But maybe again, I was just intrigued with that, and I was feeling like that at that point in time. So in case you're wondering, those are the details that I wanted to let you know, is how did this even, it's not really a difficult subject to share with you, or a difficult time like to share you that part of my life, because I think just overall in general is pretty uh, like I said, had normal, like I had a great stepmom, and those things help set the foundation. And faith wise, so I had, and I definitely don't regret, even though you might hear me talk about different things with Christianity and my negative association with it later down the road. I did actually get baptized. I wasn't going to include this in the show, but I was like, hey, I forgot about that. So I did get baptized because my stepmom was Christian, and Filipino Christian. A lot of them are Catholics, but so I did feel, though it wasn't during that time, but when I was going, laugh about vacation Bible school, I did feel a surge of chills. Like, whether people describe that as a Holy Spirit or whatever it is, like, it did resonate with me at the time. When I look back at it, I actually know where I was standing and what I was doing in the room. So I think I got baptized after that. And basically, the new pastor who replaced the previous one that I did like, seemed like a good guy, just said some things that I did not feel were unconditionally loving when it came to, God says XYZ, follow these rules, you're going to hell, kind of a thing. And it turned me off. And it wasn't until about 23 that I came around again and I started reading Ernest Holmes, who really, I cried back then reading his stuff, and I still cry now. And I learned to embrace the word God, right? And learn to pray and meditate. So I wanted to share this with you guys is because we don't have to put a label on ourselves for anything. And this is how I can believe in both, right? If we want to say God, source, consciousness, and Buddhism as a philosophy, and looking at him as a spiritual teacher, much like some people looked at Jesus as a spiritual teacher, right? So I want to at least share that with you so you kind of know the background of the beginnings of my beliefs and what being spiritual means to me. And I don't even still talk about it very much now. I'm just starting more so to talk about creating and making things with our mind, and that has nothing to do with anything esoteric or paranormal or anything. I mean, well, it could be, right? But that just mostly stemmed when I just realized, power of the subconscious mind, like that book, our thoughts make things. Okay, so I think I did a pretty good job there at 12 minutes. So I wanted you guys, yes, to know about that part. And so this episode, hold on a minute.